Hey folks, Michael Mann with Michael Mann Security Services. Welcome to the Security Management Minute. We're going to talk about SOPs, or standard operating procedures. Hey, if you're going to help get a hold of us, get us at contact@michaelmannsecurityservices.com, or you can call me directly at 615-956-3912. Let's get down to it. All right. So what is an SOP, or standard operating procedure? Well, an SOP is a set of written instructions that describes a step-by-step process that must be taken to properly perform routine activities. Security, that's going to be stuff like your patrols, reports. So enter your daily routine activities that need to be documented. Now, here's why we want an SOP. Number one, it creates a standard for the security force and for the organization. Two, it helps to reduce error-likely situations. Error-likely situations are bad things, those things that we create because we don't have a procedure, we don't have a process in place. Somebody wings something or somebody does something on their own without a process, and bad things happen. That is an error-likely situation. And it also reduces liability, both for the officer or the contract security organization or proprietary security organization, and also, if that's the case, the customer. So it does reduce liability. Now, here is how we develop an SOP. So one, so you don't have to repeat this process over and over as you start to write SOPs. Number one, develop a template that you can use for all of your SOPs. So there's a template there, so you're just kind of going in and you're either cutting and pasting or you're putting the information in this template every time, so it's going to save you a whole lot of time. Number two, identify the task. What is that routine activity that it is? What's the task that needs to be done? Define the scope of that actual task. So if it's a patrol, is it a foot patrol or a mobile patrol? What's the requirement for that? What has to happen before the patrol? Who's performing patrol? Those are the things that we're looking at in the scope. Once the scope is defined, go back and meet with the team, or go and meet with the team that's actually performing the task. So even if you're the manager and you know what the task is, you know what the scope should be, go back and talk to your security team and make sure that the scope that we put together is going to meet well or mesh well with what they're actually doing. And we can also identify if there's some problems with what they're currently doing, prior to the task. Define the critical tasks in that process or procedure. So what are the critical tasks that the team needs to actually conduct to meet the procedure? Document, okay, so we document the procedure. And when we document that procedures, we're putting that stuff inside that template. We want to make this brief and easy to understand. Don't draw this out. Don't use big words. Make it easy enough to where the simplest person can understand the task. It's a procedure. Review the process. So go through again. This is where maybe we go back to the team and make sure that this is how this can be done. Then you're going to distribute that procedure and train all the troops on it to make sure that they are aware of how this procedure should be followed. Again, so we lessen liability and we lessen the probability of an error-likely situation. And then, of course, continuous improvement means we're going to go about every 3 to 6 months. We're going to review that procedure to make sure that it's still valid. And if it needs to be changed, then we'll make changes at that time. All righty. Again, you can contact us at Michael Mann Security Services, or I'm sorry, contact@michaelmannsecurityservice.com, or you can always call me directly at 615-956-3912. And remember, folks, it is about prevention, not response.